Hello guys, this is Ashish. Welcome to all of you on my channel Byte&BrewPune. Good morning everyone. Today we will be learning the next part. As you saw, that last one was SBA's system, and today we are going further on the same path. So today we will be starting from value co-creation and moving ahead further with some more topics. So we will not be just learning ITIL terminologies. We will be understanding some how modern IT organizations create real business values. And as you all know, I'm having 16 plus years of experience working across banking, healthcare, retail, and enterprise, automotive, telecom, etc., etc. So we'll be sharing a lot of industrial things, a lot of industrial experience on this. So guys, if we talk about about current organizations which are using IT as their need, so we can say that the organizations that win are not those with the best tools. There was a saying from Napoleon that God is with those people who have the best cannons. So it's not like that organizations which are using these nice tools or big tools, they will be the best ones. But the organizations which are understanding the values, which are able to understand that what they are creating and how they are delivering it to their customers, they are the best ones, who is very well utilized and who is very well implementing the IT processes, if I can say in that way. Or we can understand it in this way, like IT is no longer a support function. IT is a strategic business capability. So we can start with the main topic, value co-creation. So there is a paradigm shift from the past beginning of the IT and the current IT, what we are using right now and what we are seeing in the market. So earlier IT operated in a value delivery model, if you can understand that. So what is a value delivery model? Actually, IT was just supposed to build systems, deliver them, and the business consumers were consuming the services or the systems. So that model is now outdated, as we said, or we are seeing that before 10, 15 years back, IT was just producing something, and IT was just supporting few of that specific IT organization or IT giants, as you have seen. But nowadays, IT is utilized and used in plenty of other organization, as I said, automotive, manufacturing. There are plenty others. So if we can talk about today, ITILv4 talks about value creation. So value creation is what? If we try to understand that in this way, like value is not delivered, it is co-created. Just try to understand these things, guys. So if suppose you have created a system and you have deployed it somewhere, maybe one of your website, maybe one of your applications, maybe something else. So if there is no consumers and they are not able to utilize that services, so do you think that it is going to create a value? No, because it is just deployed, it is not used. So there is no value of those applications. So let me repeat it. Value does not exist until the service is used. What I said just right now. So value is realized in use, not in deployment. If something is in use, the value of that particular service or application or some technology will be understood. If it is not, then it is of no use. It is just deployed somewhere on cloud, somewhere on your prem. So we will try to understand this with a better example of banking sector. Imagine a bank launches a new mobile banking application. So service provider contributes it, secure infrastructure they provide, encryption they provide, the security, development expertise they provide, 24/7 support for the services they are selling it, and regulatory compliance also. And the service consumer contributes. So bank contributes to that requirements, that what they need and what their customers needs. So business requirements comes in, feedback on usability comes in, customer behavior insights are there. adoption and correct uses of those particular applications. So if customer don't use those apps or those applications, so does that app is creating any value? I don't understand. Don't agree to it. It is not creating anything. So the app has a potential value. Actual value happens only when customers use it successfully. And this is what is called as co-creation of value by the combination of a provider and a consumer. So someone is providing some services to you and someone is consuming that service. Now, I'll tell you one practical example of failure where this collaboration was missing. So it is in one retail organization I work with, IT launched an e-commerce analytics dashboard. So business was new and participated in the requirement workshop. So it was half knowledge to the creators. So what they have came up with, or the outcome of that, is 40% of reports unused. So whatever was created, the reports were unused. There were redundant KPIs are there. Rework cost increase again, because if customer is asking that we want to remove these few things or create some new things, because the requirement was not clear and business never came to any of the requirement discussions. So what will happen? It will increase the cost. So what kind of lesson you people understand? That collaboration is not a phase, it is a discipline. You should be there for your providers to make them understand what you want exactly, and you make to clear them that what you want, and how your customers are going to utilize your services. So key insights, if we can talk about with this topic, value co-creation we are talking about. So value emerges from ongoing collaboration, not one-time delivery. What does that this statement means? Actually, when you are striving for some value creation, so you need to keep on working. It is not a one-time thing that you have created and you have given to someone and it is working on. You guys have seen, like, there are applications, messaging applications, and there are plenty of other applications which are coming up with some new technologies, new updates, and you goes on your Apple Store or Google Play Store or Microsoft Store, and you update those applications, right? So with those updates, these applications are getting some new features. So what companies are doing, they are continuously increasing some kind of services. They are collaborating with their users, what their user exactly wants, how they want to use this service efficiently. So this is what is called as value emerges from ongoing collaboration, not one-time delivery. So ITILv4 moves us from a supplier mindset to a partnership mindset. Guys, it's a very nice statement. If you understand this, most of the topics you will understand very much easily. ITILv4 moves from a supplier mindset to a partnership mindset. Even though you are paying to your providers or creating some values, you still need to be there for them to make them understand that what you exactly want and what your customer is expecting from you. How you can optimize your services, how you can automate your services, or the value you can create. So this is what you get when you talk about value co-creation, or you can create value collaboratively. So asking you a few things, like, if your organization says IT delivers services, is it truly co-creation or still a delivery? So that I want to understand, or I just want you guys to ponder on this statement. If your organization says IT delivers services, is it truly co-creation or still delivery? Just try to understand that. Now, think it on. Get the answer of this question and you will get plenty of things on this topic or on this statement. Now that we have understand value is co-created, the next question arises, how do we manage services in a structured, balanced way? That brings us to our next topic today's, which is called as 4 dimensions of service management. So now we need to understand about this, that what are the 4 dimensions of service management and how it helps us out. So ITILv4 introduces a holistic model, the more organic model, which people try to understand and will work onto it. The 4 dimension ensures the balance of ER management and the service management. If you ignore 1 dimension, the risk increases. So if you are ignoring something or some part of these dimensions, then definitely you are raising a kind of risk on your services, on your values, on your processes, on your practices. So go ahead, guys. We'll see what we are having in 4 dimensions service management. So let's go through them conceptually first. So there are 4 types which we talk about, or 4 metrics are there: organizations and people, information and technology, partners and suppliers, value streams and processes. So guys, try to understand that. Why holistic thinking matters. It is very much important thing whenever you are going to work on any kind of practices or processes or any kind of work, leaving IT also, even though, for that matter of fact, you need to understand that from very basics. If you are capable of understanding something like this, very basic, then you'll be able to understand that whatever you are doing, that piece of work, very nicely, and you can be able to understand. Or I can rephrase my sentences. If you understand the significance of the topic or the point you are going to do or the task you are going to do, then you will be better able to understand the significance and the work of that, the outcome of that particular task, how it is going to be performed. So there are plenty of things you will be able to understand if you understand the significance of that task. Guys, try to get me on that. So just take it like, as I said, that why holistic thinking matters actually. So in banking, I have seen excellent technology fail because of poor culture. Now, when we say about poor culture, so it is like in retail, I have seen cloud also migration fail due to unclear accountability. So there are like plenty of things that which goes out of control when you are not handling the things in a proper way. So optimization in isolation creates systematic risk. If you guys try to understand that. So optimization in isolation creates a systematic risk. So what is happening? If suppose you are, take an example, you are trying to create a process and you are having a process, well-settled process, and you are trying to optimize it, but you are not willing to take your team collaboratively with you. You are not willing to take your managers in confidence. Then what will happen? They are not aware of it and they will not be able to help you out when something goes wrong. Sorry guys. So then in that case, what will happen? And what is your mistake? You haven't think it collaboratively. You didn't ask for the permission with your manager. You are not working in collaboration with your managers or with your team members, and they are on a blind spot because you have made some changes on some of the parts of that particular process. So it will create a problem. So anything which you are missing onto it is creating a trouble. Now suppose, let's say a company launches a new online insurance product. Okay. So we'll try to understand that organizations and people, all these 4 parts of this matrix. So suppose people, now new roles are defined for that particular policy, insurance product. Training for support teams is required. Leadership communication is required. So they need to communicate to all of their stakeholders. Technology, now cloud hosting, security controls, monitoring tools. There are plenty of others. It is just an example. I am telling to you. Partners, cloud providers, security vendors, payment gateways, obviously. And process, incident management, change management, fulfillment workflow. Now, in this case, what will happen? If 1 dimension is weak, maybe technology is ready, peoples are not trained, then what will happen? The disturbance on that particular system or the launch of that application will increase. You will face number of incidents growing. The mean time to resolve those incidents are growing because the people who are not trained properly are not able to resolve the issues properly. So the MTTR value, which we called as mean time to resolve, will increase exponentially on that particular piece of task. Due to this, your application will not work properly and your customer will be a dissatisfied customer, and the dissatisfaction will keep on rising. So everything is interconnected. Just try to understand. As I said, that people, organization, leadership, technology, team, each piece of this particular organization or management system is interconnected to each other and interlinked to each other. If you are disturbing anyone, you are actually disturbing the other parts of that also. Now, we'll talk about at executive level insight. So at leadership level, we don't ask, is the tool ready? We ask, how does this change impact all 4 dimensions? So try to understand that as we started this lecture as a holistic model. So if suppose you are a executive level insight or leader, or your team lead or your managers are there, so they need to ask you some right questions to handle such kind of processes. So what they ask you, they don't ask you the tool is ready. They ask you that how does this change impact all 4 dimensions? Like they want to understand that how organization is going to get impacted. Is this service or application is going to give you some profits? Maybe monetarily, maybe technically, maybe something else. What technologies we are going to use, right? What are the partners, how partners are going to get impacted. So we'll try to understand, guys. Dimension 1 we are going to work on. So it is like organization and people, what we are having. People are the heart of service management. Technology doesn't solve incidents, people do. Now, what does this mean? So obviously technology is there, but technology is not functioning and you need humans to detect, to trace and to resolve the problem. Now, obviously you might have a thought in your mind that AI is also working and AI is replacing a lot of jobs. So obviously it is there, technology is there, but AI is not having the feelings humans are having, and how they are working onto it and how they are talking to their customers is not that much easy for AI to understand and to handle those situations. Now, we will understand that roles and responsibility of people in one of the organization, or what we call it as a RACI something, RACI. So that we will discuss later on in this topic. So one major root cause of mean time to resolve or long time of resolution is unclear accountability. So what is that? In a financial services organization, so guys, I'm just trying to explain you with an example so that you'll be able to understand that. So one major root cause of long mean time to resolve is unclear accountability. In a financial services organization, I have seen consulting for, so incident bridge calls had 12 participants. So I'm just telling you an example of one of the incidents I have faced somewhere. So there are people on a bridge call, 12 participants, no clear incident commander, confusion on who approves rollback, who is going to work on other part of technology. So there is a lot of confusion about the responsibilities, about the roles of the people, about the technical leads, the information. So there are plenty of things which are not very much clear to the people. So after implementing RACI, you can say that we call it as a RACI matrix. So RACI matrix is a kind of just a matrix which will help you guys to understand that roles and responsibilities, that how and what a person can do in a company or in an organization, how they will handle. So this is what kind of like information, or if I can break it into separate terms, so we can talk it like R is for responsibility, A is for accountability, C is for consulting, and I is for inform. So depending on this, we create a kind of matrix where the roles are clearly defined, the responsibilities are clearly defined. So after implementing on the same environment, when we implemented this RASI matrix, or we decided the roles and responsibility of the people, so then the incident manager was clear with the thought, technical ownership was defined clearly, communication lead was there, so who was capable of communicating to the stakeholders, and the resolution time of the incident was reduced by 40%. Now you people might have a question that what gone different on this scenario and why it is got reduced. So clarity reduces chaos, right? Clarity of accountability is the foundation of operational excellence, guys. Try to understand that. Clarity of accountability is the foundation of operational excellence. If you know your roles and your responsibility and you're accountable for, then you do the task much seriously and in a much peculiar, clarified way. So you are the accountable for piece of work you are doing, and you can be easily able to present that to your management. Now we'll talk about the culture. If culture punishes failure, then people will start hiding behind their incidents, their problems, their issues. So they'll not come up with that. And if culture is their encouragement of learning, or your lead is helping you to improve more faster, so what will happen? That high performing teams will be an outcome of such kind of good environment. So psychological safety will be there, transparent communication will be there, continuous improvement will be there, and team will be very much easy to come to their leads, to their managers, and they'll come to ask or provide you an idea to work more efficiently on their current situation and current processes. And they will be keen to understand the technologies also. Now, leadership and communication we will talk about. So as IT leaders, or suppose you will be working as a team lead, so your job is not just to manage the tickets. Your job is to manage or to build the capabilities. Tools, another statement, tools scale operations and culture scales performance. Now guys, try to understand that. Okay. You need to, one of your company, you're working into an organization, and organization is a good IT giant or a manufacturing giant or healthcare giant, any big company. They can provide you the tools. They will give you the technology. But the performance, no technology is going to teach you perform. You can be loaded with technological knowledge, but you are lacking with attitude of work or attitude of hard work, you can say. So you know technology very well, but you are not willing to work in an organization. So that technology is of no use. So just try to understand that tools scale organizations or operations, tools scale operations and culture scales performance. So if you have a culture of working or a good culture in an organization to work on, it will work properly. But if you are not having a good culture of working, it will not be possible for you to work on. And you will be feeling lazy, maybe you will be feeling kind of lethargic, you don't want to work, you are not willing to work. There are plenty of things. Now, one exam tip I will try to give you. If you see questions about unclear responsibilities affecting performance, think about this topic, that organizations and people, what we have discussed onto it. Now that we understand people drive outcomes, let's talk about the enablers. So information and technology, the second topic. Technology supports services and manages services. That dual role is critical. Infrastructure versus service management tool. Now infrastructure is somewhat different. These are, you can say it in a layman term, that these are the hardwares which we are using in our IT environment, And the management tools what we are using is, these are the softwares which help us to manage all those things. So if you can talk about infrastructure, servers, networks, firewalls, cloud platforms, and there are plenty of other things. Similarly, if we talk about management tools, there are monitoring tools, there are ITSM ticketing tools, reporting dashboards, knowledge bases, and plenty of other things, but both are different. Many organizations invest heavily in infrastructure but ignore service management tools or tooling that creates blind spots. Now try to understand these things with an example, guys. A hospital network implemented one AI-driven monitoring system. Earlier, mean time to detect the outage is equals to or is goes it goes for 30 minutes. After AI integration, the detection time is less than 5 minutes. That reduced patient system downtime significantly. But here's the catch. They also trained NOC teams and updated escalation processes. Without people alignment, the tool wouldn't work. Okay, so now try to understand that if you want to work with the technology, you need to understand the technology very nicely. If you are not able to understand the technology will kill your complete flow within a fraction of a second. Now understand the cybersecurity perspective. When we talk about IT, this is the most major important topic which comes always in picture, called as cybersecurity. In any of the sectors, guys, cybersecurity is not an optional thing. For downtime, definitely if you're using some IT technologies, you need to have this cybersecurity part. Now, if we talk about defending our company, our environment, our infrastructure, our tools, our applications, we need to have a cybersecurity workforce in our organization. If we don't have that, definitely we are putting our organization on a risk. So network security, if we talk about like firewalls, we say endpoint protections, identity controls. So there are plenty of other things like monitoring of the systems. So these technologies are needed a safeguard, which cybersecurity team is providing. So technology is an enabler. It is not a silver bullet. Technology amplifies intent, good or bad. If processes are weak, automation will only accelerate failures. If processes are not very much, when we say processes are weak, it is not like that you are not having a proper steps. It is like your people maybe are not able to understand the exact process of working, right? So automation will work, or AI, what we call it as, it will work nicely if you are having a good environment or a good way of working onto it, right? So if a questions talk about tools, monitoring, knowledge management, data accuracy, that's information technology and dimensions, guys. Now let's move beyond internal capabilities. Modern IT does not operate alone. Try to understand that, guys. Now, partners and suppliers. So we live in an ecosystem economy where we are dependent on the different partners, different vendors, suppliers, and other things, because we are not in a situation that we hold each and everything in one premise. Try to get it, guys. So when we talk about a system or economy, if we talk about IT, cloud, cybersecurity vendors, SaaS platforms, outsourced service desk, technical support. So not a single organization is fully independent and capable of doing everything by themselves. They also need something out of their premises, and they need help from others. So simple example, if you want like a cloud hosting environment, you are not going to raise your data centers. You will buy some services from one of the vendors and you can use it, right? So SLAs, like take an example, SLA versus relationship mindset. SLA is contractual thing. A relationship is a strategic thing, right? If you treat your partner only as a vendors, you optimize cost. If you treat your partner as a capability extensions, you optimize the value, try to get that. Strong ecosystems outperform strong individual players. When we say about that, if you treat your partners only as a vendors, you are saving the money only. But if you treat your partners as capability extensions, you are empowering them also. Then you are actually optimizing your values. Guys, try to understand that. Strong ecosystems outperform strong individual players. Supplier life cycle is there. So selection, evaluate. So if you can go and understand about these things, like what is supplier and how the supplier or vendors are managed. So there is a life cycle of a supplier, right? So it's if you want to buy something, you need to evaluate the capability of the supplier, select a good supplier, negotiate the pricings, defining the SLAs, what they are going to give you and what you are providing. The onboarding process, alignment process, you can say, performance, how you are going to monitor them, what kind of service they are giving you and how nicely they are working on the service. So if you can't measure something, you will not be able to judge that particular service. So you have to have a monitoring KPIs for that. By the way, KPIs are key performance indicators which you choose for understanding and measuring your services. Improvement, optimize continuously. So this life cycle thinking ensures long-term success. If you think in that way, you will work with your vendors or suppliers in the long-term span of time. So this is kind of like we are having a value system what we are working on, right? Now let's summarize few things, whatever we have gone in the past two slides. Value is co-created, not delivered. Collaboration between provider and consumer is essential. The 4 dimensions ensure balanced service management. People and culture determine operational success. Technology and partners must align with the strategy, not operate in silos. So always think, guys, holistic, which dimension is impacted, when it is impacted. Remember, value is realized in use, not in deployment, as I said previously. If a scenario mentions imbalance or risk, check with dimension which is neglected. So don't neglect any of the dimension, as I said in the beginning. So ITILv4, as we said, it's not about a process. It is about enabling organizations to create sustainable value in a digital world. If you understand co-creation, if you think holistically, if you lead with clarity, you will not just pass the ITIL exam. You will transform how IT delivers business impact. Try to understand these statements, guys. Service management is not about managing services. It is about enabling success. So how nicely you understand your services and how nicely you can be able to work on those things and how nicely you can be able to enable your success. So how you are going to enable your success? You will be enabling your success with lot of other things and lot of other topics, lot of other processes which you are creating, the measuring capabilities of your work. So all these things are going to enable your success if you understand all those things. So thanks, guys. Thanks for learning with me on this lecture. Possibly we'll be delivering that next lecture soon on this further topics. And I hope I am able to make you understand on few of these technologies. And thank you very much for joining us, guys. And see you on the next video. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.